It's the then versus now challenge! 3!
Qualifying Race 5 is all about Chevy's most famous pony car, the Camaro.
That's right, Al. So let's meet today's racers. Up first for Team Then.
Hey, what's up with his hood? Does he need a jump start?
I think he's proud that his 1967 Camaro RS is a numbers-matching Year 1 car.
Numbers matching? You mean like he won the lottery?
No, Al. That's not what I mean at all. Anyway, that car is driven by Antonio Ramos from Anaheim, California. Up next, it's the 1981 Camaro Z28, driven by Noah Landry, and his hometown is Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow, those are some serious rims. They don't look numbers matching.
Will you stop talking? Team Then is my thing. Moving on. Finally, we have Hayden Bradshaw from Grand Prairie, Texas, in the 1985 Camaro IROC Z.
And for Team Now, we only have one competitor, so he really has his work cut out for him today. It's Harrison Duffy in the 2016 Camaro SS from his hometown of Dayton, Ohio.
Now, let's get to the part we're all here for, and let's get this race started. Here we are at the guillotine gate for Heat 1.
And just a quick reminder, these qualifiers are for points. Only the top 2 racers at the end of 5 heats get a spot in the actual tournament.
We have the 81 Z28 in lane 1. Joining him up front, it's the IROC Z.
And the 67 is in lane 3, and the only member of Team Now is in the last spot in lane 4.
The safety officials have cleared the track while we were doing the racer intros, so this race is a go. 3, 2, 1, go!
IROC blocks! Whoa, the SS blows it!
Z28 lags behind!
What the heck was that?
67 goes over! Z28 makes it through!
Z28 barrel rolls through the IROC! Whoa! To borrow one of your phrases, Barry,
That was pandemonium. It's pandemonium.
that's a word? I thought it was panda pneumonia, because they're endangered species. So when pandas get sick at the zoo, everyone goes crazy.
Exactly how many times have you fallen into the compactor, Al?
I don't know. I don't remember, but it was a lot. What's that got to do with anything?
Oh, it has a lot to do with everything, my friend. But, focusing on the race, the IROC has some back and forth with the Z28. But then, out of nowhere, the 16 SS goes full speed into the tires.
And since the orange Z28 was already going backwards, I think he slowed down to watch the SS eat a face full of tires because he crawls through Carmine Corner. And then we go from a crawl to a high jump competition. I mean, what the heck happened there? He hits our clunker Camaro, but it looks more like he hit a landmine because he catapults through the air.
And unfortunately, the 67 RS hits the handbrake trying to avoid, but ends up pulling it too hard and goes over the cliff and takes a few clunkers with him.
And then Mr. Late to the Party in the orange 81 just cruises through in reverse.
But his cruise quickly turns into a demolition derby because from the boulevard cam we could see how he blasts through the flipped over IROC Z.
And for someone who spent the whole race slowing down, he picks now to hit the gas and then can't stop in time and goes into that pile of junk at the end of the finish line. Well, while he might have been slow around the track, the orange Z28 was fast and putting up points on the scorecard because that first place just gave him 5 big points, and it's a big zilch for everyone else.
Back at the guillotine gate for Heat 2.
Starting from the back, it's the IROC Z and the 67 RS in lanes 3 and 4. And in the front, it looks like both the 2016 SS and the 81 Z28 were able to duct tape their cars back together.
It's duct tape, like for an air duct.
What? I always thought it was duct tape, like quack quack, because it would make things watertight, like a duck.
Wow, Al. The inside of your brain must look like a fun house. 3, 2, 1, go!
Pile up in the bottleneck!
The Z28 is out!
IROC in the lead.
But he's into the junk.
SS is out.
The RS is still in it.
Whoa! Wow. 2 more cars into the junk. The 67 RS is gonna need to find some numbers matching duct tape.
Let's focus on the replay, Al. There's quite a bit of fender bending coming down Nevada. Then the green SS tries to block the Z28, who tries to use that block to block the 67 RS.
And the IROC isn't having any of that and just sails through. And then the 67 goes from being the caboose in a 3-car pileup to delivering a race-ending block to the orange Z28. And for once, all the remaining cars make it through Clunker Canyon without incident.
But that quickly changes once we get to the boulevard. The IROC Z goes rocketing across the line and into the junk.
And the duct tape, still being fresh on the green 2016 SS, cranks the handbrake to avoid the same fate.
However, it seems the 67 RS didn't get that memo, because he follows right behind the IROC.
You mean into the IROC? Man, we should start selling duct tape here at the scrapyard. We'd be loaded.
Well, what is getting loaded is our scorecard. With a first and second finish, the IROC and 67 RS make it onto the card, making this race a little tighter.
And as the only member of Team Now, the 2016 SS better start making some moves if he hopes to stay alive in this thing. Heat 3. At this point, every car has crashed into the pile of junk. We have the oldest and newest cars up front, and in the rear, it's the Z28 and the IROC Z.
3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off.
Big wreck into the tires.
The IROC is all alone. Can he hold on?
Whoa! Well, at least he crashed after the line. What is going on with these Camaros, Barry? Not one has made it across the line without crashing into those junk piles.
You're welcome.
What are you talking about, Barry?
Well, while we've had some close calls with the cameras, none of them have been destroyed. And that's a scrapyard first. So I'm glad I had Wild Bob and the safety crew move all that junk to the finish line.
You got Wild Bob in on this?
Of course I'm in on it. Mama Hardy didn't raise no dummy. The less cameras that up and get destroyed, the less cleanup me and the safety crew gotta do. So I could just sit here on my porch, enjoying some refreshing grape soda and chocolate-covered donuts, and then catch up on some much-deserved shut-eye.
But what about the racers when they wreck? Don't you have to bring them back up to the guillotine gate with the tow trucks?
Yep.
So isn't that work for the safety crew?
Yes, sir, but we gets to charge them for the service. So that's more money left over for grape soda and chocolate donuts. See? I told you I weren't no dummy. And speaking of charge, the IROC Z has just taken charge of this race. He's now in first place with a commanding lead over the orange Z28.
Heat 4, and things have really gotten interesting. There's still enough heats where it could be anyone's race.
But the IROC Z in lane 1 is sitting pretty with a huge lead and the pole position.
3, 2, 1, go!
A tight start.
They're still all together.
2 Camaros on their bonnets.
The IROC loses it.
The SS flies across the line.
And into the junk. Wow, Barry. Finally, Team Now will get on the scorecard.
Okay, Al, but let's see what happened to all the members of Team Then. It seems like the RS and the Z28 had trouble coming out of the bottleneck because they both go into Carmine Corner upside down, and the RS actually goes into one of our safety vehicles, and that ends the race for both of them.
And the IROC, who had a decent lead, ruins it by clipping the tires on the big rig, and that sends him completely across the track. And the Camaro that sent him flying in Heat 1 now saves him from going over the cliff.
And that left the track wide open for the Camaro SS, who seized the opportunity by slamming on the gas.
And he was so focused on the win, it seems he forgot all about the brakes because he goes full speed into that junk pile. And that's not all. Because he also goes full speed into the scorecard. With his win, he just put Team Now back in the game and has gone from 4th place to tie for 2nd. It's the final heat. It's all on the line.
The Z28 in lane 1, who was in first place, now finds himself on shaky ground. The IROC Z in lane 2 at this point is pretty much a lock for the tournament, but this is the Scrapyard, and anything can happen.
In the back row, it's the RS in lane 3 who needs a win here to move on. And again in lane 4, it's the SS who is also looking to move on as the only member of Team Now.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh no, the gate!
67 falls behind.
The Z28 is over!
The RS flips. The IROC crosses the line.
So does the SS, and the junk hits the camera! Wow, Barry, the guillotine gate malfunctioning seems to be destined for this tournament. If you remember during the Denver's Now Challenge 2, the gate took out the car we dubbed the Ballerina, and it cost him a win. In fact, I got the video all queued up to show the new fans. Let's check it out.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
See, I told you!
We need help!
Wow, Bob, get the rescue crew out there, stat!
I'm on it like gravy on a biscuit! Please, show some decorum and cut the commercial!
Well, Al, it is called the Guillotine Gate for a reason. And that's why our trusty safety crew is always at a all-hands-on-deck level of readiness. Right, Bob?
Why, yes, I'd just love another sarsaparilla, Miss Candy.
Wait, is he dreaming about Miss Candy?
Moving on. Look how the IROC Z goes all out coming down Clunker Canyon, and the SS follows close behind looking for the pass.
Then the Z28 loses it and sends one of the clunkers flying straight up into the air. And seemingly not wanting to be left out, the 67 flips and spins and has just enough left in him to send one of the clunks over the edge as well.
In the boulevard, it appears the IROC tries to use the wall to slow himself down before the junk pile, but it's no use.
He hits it hard enough that the junk shrapnel actually hits the camera, and the SS crashing on the opposite side does the same. And that's more shrapnel than that poor old camera can handle.
Yes, it looks like I'll have to have the boys pile up a bigger, heavier junk pile for the next race. Noted.
Well, what else is worth noting is the final scorecard. The IROC was already a lock, but by coming in second in this heat, the SS got 3 points, and that just secured his second place finish for the night. In other words, him and Team Now are moving on.
The IROC clearly dominated this race, having almost double the points of his next closest competitor. I can't wait to see what he brings to the tournament.
The SS had the cards stacked against him, being the only member of Team Now, but he pulled through and is going on to the tournament.
The Z28 looked strong with an early win, but he was never able to score again. Unfortunately, his chances end here.
And it looks like the 67 can add a 0 to the list of his matching numbers, because he's not going anywhere either.
But who is going somewhere is us as we prepare for the next race. So please join us next time when the VTEC kicks in as 4 Honda Civics take to the track in qualifying race 6. As always, I'm your host, Barnabas Tone, saying thank you and good night.
And I'm F. Alan Seto, saying see you next time. And please be sure to subscribe and share our videos.
That's some refreshing sarsaparilla, Miss Candy.
Al, shut that off!
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
It's a day versus now.